It was a great summer day. You and your grandpa decided to go fishing. And even if you are not a great fisherman, you really like it. Finally, after an hour, you are here, standing by the shore. You are throwing your fishing line into the water, while your grandpa is relaxing on his favorite lawn chair. After a couple of tries, you catch a fish. Now you have a little yellow fish in your hand. You show it to your grandpa. Proud of you, he shows you some new tricks and prepares a reward for you. His favorite curly fries. You go back to the water again, cast your line, hoping for a bigger catch. But what you actually find isn't a fish. It's not trash, and it's not an animal. It's a human body. This is how About Fishing demo starts. And when I watched the trailer on PC Gaming Show, I surely didn't expect that the game would have that mysterious detective and a little bizarre vibe. I mean, I watched the trailer and it seemed pretty interesting to me. I like the atmosphere that this trailer showed. However, the game could really surprise me in a good way, and even if I am not into fishing in real life, I was hooked. And after playing the game, I want to say I'm still hooked. But first thing first, About Fishing is a game not about fishing, more precisely not about only fishing, it's about the story, atmosphere and direction. You are playing as a young woman who is desperately trying to help her grandfather avoid prison. Why did her grandfather find himself in this situation? It's another question, my friend. You see, after we found the corpse underwater, he decided to take the body away, and then something strange happened. But our little girl couldn't see that, cause she had to stay there and continue fishing as her grandpa told her. Whose body was that? Missing girls? Twins? Who disappeared a couple of weeks ago? It was one of them. What happened? I don't know, and in this game we will try to know that. After a short introduction, we woke up in our house, and almost immediately we notice a closed door. It will be our first mission to find the key and unlock the door. Also, we have to figure out all the situation with missing twins. We even have a detective board in this game, like in a detective movies. I feel like a real detective here. As I said, pretty soon after leaving our home, we found our grandpa in prison. I guess. Actually, I'm not sure because this building looks like a church to me. Do churches have a prison in their basements? This town is a strange place, all I can say. Our detective fisherman speaks with the prisoner, and of course he says to us that he is not guilty. And I kinda trust him. I mean, just look at this guy. He looks so innocent, and we literally were there with him, and it was me who found the body first, so it's our duty to help him get out of prison. He asked us to help find the girl we found. You see, she was buried in the graveyard behind the church, but the graveyard was flooded, and now we have to catch her body like we did it before. Without thinking twice, I agreed to help. During our conversation, he mentioned a toilet outside, and I, as a true detective, instantly got the hint. I left the prison and started to cast my line into a toilet. While I'm trying to catch some shit, I'll explain to you how this game works. We catch a fish and other different stuff by using our mouse. And at the start of the game asked us to configure it. I think the easiest way to explain this mechanic is to compare it with Red Dead Redemption 2. I know a lot of people played or even still play Red Dead Online, so of course many of you guys try to fish there. And controls feel similar to me. You cast your line by moving your mouse towards yourself and then move it forward sharply. Everything is simple. Then we wait for the moment when the fish finally notices our bait and hook the fish. There are different types of fish, of course, and each one has their own behavior. Some fish float on the top, some on the bottom. Some fish are easy to catch and some will give you a fight. Also, you have to watch the line, as it can break at any moment if you constantly pull it back when fish try to escape. Depending on your catch, fish will have different prices. Big fish that were difficult to get obviously will bring you more money than smaller ones. However, you can get even more money if you will fillet fish. You have a board where you can fillet all your fish by playing a minigame. You have to carefully cut the fish. The more precisely you do it, the more money you will get. Now let's go back to me, who is still trying to find something useful at the bottom of the toilet. All my attempts were unsuccessful, my hook didn't go low enough to reach the bottom. That was a problem, but thankfully I saw a thing in the store that can help lower my hook. There was a thing that could increase the length of my fishing line as well, also some cigarettes and knives for filleting fish. So I got to work and started fishing. With every fish I caught, I was getting closer to my goal. After some time, I found a place that looked like a museum, and I even brought the fish and put it in the aquarium there. I got a reward, the owner of this place gave me more inventory space, and now I can carry more fish. So, talking about core gameplay, fishing itself. It's quite good. I didn't really play other fishing games, and all I have as experience with fishing is the minigame from Stardew Valley and RDR2 mechanic mentioned earlier, but it's pretty peaceful to stand by the water, listen to the ambience of the game, looking at different fish, catching them, etc. Also, while I was fishing and selling my fish, once I returned to the water, I saw a woman who lost her little fish Joshua. The goose grabbed him and carried him away to his nest on a tree. Of course, I immediately started to try to get Joshua out of the tree, and after a couple of tries, Joshua was in my box with other fish. I tried to fillet Joshua, but the game didn't let me do it for some reason, and I had to sell it. That woman was a liar, by the way. Joshua was worth little money, but she told me he was very valuable. After selling Joshua, I returned to the place where she cried, but she was gone. And that was a cool side quest though. Besides such side quests, the game has other cool stuff. For example, I saw a fountain behind the church and decided to try to catch some fish there. To my surprise, there really were fish. And what's more, I found another addition to my inventory. And just above that, there was a bottle with a note inside. I want to remind you guys, it's just a demo, and this game already has such cool little details. Another example, I was walking down the street, exploring the location, and then I had an idea. What if I cast my fishing line to the roofs of the surrounding buildings? And in this way I found another inventory upgrade on the roof of the store. I love when games reward you for exploration and curiosity. When I find such things in games, it always encourages me to explore more and try other different things. And sometimes games just break because of that. So here too, I managed to catch several different bugs. All of them were not critical, but one specific bug was unpleasant. Over time I saved up money for upgrades to the fishing rod and bought a new hook, which should catch fish's attention faster. But when the fish bites this hook, something strange happens. The camera breaks and glitches, and I see a black screen or some texture. Maybe the camera fell out of bounds, I don't know. But when I remove the new hook and use the old one, the bug never happens. It's not critical, and it's a free early demo, so I understand that things like this are normal. After finishing the game, I sent feedback describing the bug. I think developers heard me, and in the release version everything will be great. Besides these little minor troubles, the game felt fantastic. The vibe, the music and the gameplay are all already fun. Now that my fishing rod has been upgraded and I have gained enough experience in fishing, I can finally catch the key that I found in the toilet my grandpa was talking about. Remember the door from the beginning of the game? Now we can open it. Returning home and opening the door, we find ourselves in our grandfather's office. There are a lot of different papers on his desk. After a quick inspection, I found a closed drawer, and now I need another key. Fortunately, I could find it fast, thanks to the note about the mounted fish hanging on the wall. The key was in its mouth. I could open it and get the key. Then I opened the drawer. I see yellow fish again, as I did when I came to Grandpa the first time. But with fish in the drawer was a gun. Strange, I thought, but later when I came back to our prisoner, I couldn't ask him about it. After that, I was ready. I did everything I could, and the time has come. I chose the fish, put it on my hook, and now we are going to get the missing girl from her grave. Sounds kinda bad, but all this is for our grandpa. And it's the perfect time to tell you folks about the mind control mechanic. I don't know how exactly, but we can control the mind of the chosen fish we caught. Don't ask me how, we just can do it. And that's how we found the missing twin the first time. I controlled the fish and found it in some water cave. I tied her hand with a fishing line. After that I pulled her from the water. Now we have to do the same thing, but it will be more difficult, because in the water there is always a bigger fish. And this fish is already swimming in the tomb. Using all my stealth skills, I tie the stones lying on the coffin and pull them to the side. The coffin lid begins to open and we discover that there is nobody there, only a part of the skeleton of her leg. It looks like it was all in vain, and Grandpa will be upset by the bad news. But to our surprise, this news only gave him and us hope. To know why, I recommend you play About Fishing demo yourself, but after that, the demo ends. And that was very cool, guys. I had a lot of fun playing this game and it surprised me. I didn't expect such an interesting storyline, cool direction and Twin Peaks vibes. Likewise, I will definitely add this game to my wishlist and will wait for the full release now. Give it a shot, guys. The demo is free on Steam and you can finish it in 1.5 or maybe 2 hours with slow-paced gameplay. About Fishing reminded me why I love playing games. While in bigger games the gameplay more and more often becomes similar to each other, this game has its own unique style, gameplay and narrative.